This is the Basketball Show with Shane the Hammer Heel and Steve Mr. Magic Carfino. Brought to you by Unibet, TCL Plex, and News Corp. What they gonna say next?
Hello and welcome to the Basketball Show, brought to you by our sponsors, of course, Unibet, TCL Plex smartphones, and News Corp Australia. Sitting on the table with me, of course, is Shane the Hammer Heel. And Shane, of course, it wouldn't be a show without Jumpin' Joe Healy from Fox Sports News. We'll have her on a little bit later.
Yes, we will.
All right.
Can't wait for that one.
Let's get right into hammer time. Sometimes it's stroke. Sometimes I give you a hard time for going soft. But right now, I'm not going to do it because this is a hell of a stroke.
Well, it's not a stroke to start with. We're going to start off by talking about your shirt and the fact that you're wearing your school shirt because you didn't prepare and you came late again. So that's the hammer. But all those things out on the table now. So let's go with the Sydney Kings. 17,514 people came to watch the Sydney Kings, LaMelo Ball, and the Illawarra Hawks. Unbelievable effort. And that was more than an NBA game on Sunday, one of the NBA games. So how's that? Unbelievable atmosphere that they're getting out there, and good balance of the music. I love that. But one big thing that needs to be congratulated is 100% of the door sales, the walk-ups on Sunday, we're going to the bushfire appeal with the Salvation Army. So that is an unbelievable effort.
That's fantastic. 17,000+ people screaming, new fans. Whenever you can bring new fans into the stadium, it's fantastic. And that's one thing that I love.
Yep, great effort. Now, Carfino's call, mate. What do you got?
This is one thing that I don't love. Step backs. Step back.
What?
You know what? I know you.
Game.
I know that's. You can shoot them though. I don't have a problem if you can make them. If you can't make a three standing still, then you can't make one when you're stepping back and your momentum is taking you backwards. Make the three first before you try the step back. That is Carfino's call.
I'm blaming it on Harden. dribble, step back.
I know. The only thing I like about James Harden is the red-colored shirt that he wears, just like my school, Barker College, established way back 100 years ago.
This is the Starting Five, brought to you by TCL Plex smartphones.
The O doing his thing, and let's do our thing, Shane. First up, Sunday deck, and what a great opportunity it's been for him, and he has been ready for it. He must have read Tom Brady's book. You got to be ready for your opportunity.
And Matt Flynn spoke about that as well, but he's been unbelievably impressive. And if he knocks down this three consistently, he can go to another level in the NBL as somebody that can consistently start, because I love his defense. He is so tough, got such a great body type, makes good decisions, plays with a whole lot of poise as well. He's got a huge future if he can become a consistent three-point shooter. Look at that, little sidestep after the up fake. Love it.
Oh, man, he just looks like he's just playing in the playground right there, just letting it flow, nothing to lose, going out there, getting that opportunity. And I'd ask you about your opportunity that you took. I took one. I got one. Bobby Hansen got hurt, broke his foot. I stepped into the starting five.
Aaron Brooks. Why have they taken so long? It's got to be like 3 weeks. When are they replacing him?
Man, that's a good question. I get the feeling that they're just waiting to see what LaMelo Ball does. And that's the only thing that I can possibly think of. But that's like a month away.
Wait?
That's like a month away. That's the only thing I can think of, because I can't think of any reason why they would wait.
They're playing good basketball. They need a superstar.
They're playing some great basketball, and I think maybe they're banking on the fact that they could squeeze a couple of wins there. I think they're playing as well as they can possibly play, and they need somebody who can get some scoring punch. They need somebody that they can rely on to get those buckets late in the shot clock and when they really need it.
Agree.
All right. What we got coming up next? We got, Simon Mitchell with the Phoenix. What kind of a job has he done this year?
Well, I haven't had much of an opinion about him. I've been waiting to see how he's gone as a rookie coach, but I've got to say I've been really impressed. I think the system that he's put in for his team, the recruiting obviously with him and Tommy Greer did as well, real good balance. But I love everything he's saying, listening to him in timeouts and the pre-game talks and everything else. Love everything what they're doing, some big tests to come, but so far he's been impressive.
All right.
What about Matt Walsh and the argument with Jeremy Loliga that ended up in a fine? Can you just talk us through, what do you think Matt Walsh is saying in this conversation?
I don't know. Well, let's have a look. I think it goes a little something like this. What's with the American accent? Yo, dog, I wanted to talk like this and talk like the brothers all my life, and here's my chance. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I can pull off this flat hat right here. I can think of a couple of reasons. There's three reasons maybe why I talk like this. Mark Dickel, he speaks with an American accent even though he's from New Zealand. C.J. Bruton, and now Nathan Sobey. So, everybody's down with the brothers, wants to be like me. I can pull off this flat hat too, you know what?
Well, you know what I reckon Jeremy Loliga was saying? I think he's saying, mate, you've been here 5 minutes. I don't care what you think about the refs or the rules or anything else that's going on, because I'm going to stick my chin out right in your face because I'm not taking a backward step, mate. So I don't care where you've come from, what sort of accent you got, or what you're thinking. I'm going to put you in the naughty corner. I'm going to fine you and give you a flick on the nose to go back to New Zealand with. That's what I reckon he said. Is that fair?
He's going right at him, too.
I think we were pretty accurate.
I know.
I think that's what's going on.
I think Jeremy was ready to have a go.
Good. I like that. He's on the front foot.
Looked like Shane the Hammer heel on that one. Owners are getting right into it.
Last topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you got to respect owners because they put their hard-earned in.
Yeah.
And
the money where
but
the
I'll tell you,
mouth is.
this year, more of the owners have overstepped the line because once you invest in a club, you're investing in the culture of a league. And I can't believe the amount of owners that have had an opinion and probably said something that has been negative to the league. Have a look at this with Simon Stratford saying super proud of our Illawarra Hawks boys after I've got my glasses on.
So you need a longer neck. You need a longer neck so you can lean in. Just like lean in.
If I was a giraffe, I would have been able to read that. I'm serious. You read what it said. You can't. Come on, mate. He deleted it later, probably realised that they're a bit passionate, but come on, fellas. No. It's for the good of the league. Yeah. Leave that to us.
And for the good of the league. Let's get into prospect watch because these young guys are balling. And new young guys come out every single week. I'm talking about who we got.
We want consistency. Yeah. And I tell you one person that's been consistent is LaMelo Ball. He really has. He's number 2. I haven't even got a third. I'll get to that later. But he's number 2 in the prospect watch. 16 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Struggled early, and we've spoken about it time and time again. When he settles for that ugly 3-point shot, it's not great.
Let it fly off the chin.
That's not good.
Yak.
That's not good.
1 for 5.
That's
1 for 5.
But when he does this, you cannot get in front of him. That's why he'll be an NBA star, because one-on-one, you cannot stop him, and his decision-making of breaking down a great defender, of then drawing the rotations, finding people, and making great decisions. He is incredible. His assist to turnover is impressive as well. But number 1.
Yeah, give it to me.
We haven't seen him since round 1. Is Kuatnoi. How impressive was he, mate? He dragged his team to a massive win after an inept performance last week by the Cairns Taipans. They were impressive, came out with the right mindset. 20 points, 10 rebounds, 7 from 11 from the field. Steve Carfino, I love it when he plays like this.
I know. You know what? It ain't bragging if you can back it up. He was talking about being the best rookie impact player since Joe Ingles, and he's doing it. Got the 3-ball going, got that length, got that swag afterwards, and if you can pull your team to a win, it ain't bragging.
No, he was great. But a couple of guys, see, we love Didi Louzada, but you can't have 28 points and then 6 points this week going 2 for 7. You've got to have a crack, mate. We need a little bit more from you because we believe in you. We know what you've got. You've got to go make things happen. Play with that sort of energy. And the other one that we've got is we've got RJ Hampton. As we see Diddy just do a little thing. That was for his 4 points. Did he get 4 points? 6 points. The other one is RJ Hampton. He had 4 points. RJ Hampton, we think he's top 10 in the NBA next year. But you can't go 2 for 10, 4 rebounds, 5 assists on the road as their superstar was left home. So he needs to be able to step up. More consistency from you two as well.
It's time now for the Unibet game preview. Who's hot? Who's not?
Well, let's keep rolling along, get into the preview. It's the Adelaide 36ers at the Brisbane Bullets home court. Who have you got?
Desperation stakes. Both these teams have to get one. We've been down on the Brisbane Bullets. I don't know what they're thinking. We're going on and on and on since the first week about their imports. But I think they'll actually win 1-10. They have to bounce back and get it done. Hopefully they discover some form from Glidden.
Yeah, I think there's going to be some Joey Wright inspiration, some Randall's inspiration. I think they're going to get it done. Adelaide. Okay. I like Adelaide.
I believe it.
All right. Sydney Kings on the road to Southeast Melbourne Phoenix. Who do you like? Hammer time.
Well, Southeast Melbourne have been impressive, and playing at home again will give them a chance, but I think that will just keep it close. The Sydney Kings, by far and away, the most talent in the league. I think they win 1-10.
All right, I'm not going to go against them either. And the Perth Wildcats on the road, Cairns Taipans.
This is going to be a battle. Don't worry about that. Cairns, if they come with the mindset they did against the Brisbane Bullets, but they're up against a different beast in the Perth Wildcats, and I think Perth come home 1-10.
I like Cairns at home, but I don't like them that much. I'm not going to underestimate the Perth Wildcats all year. I'm going to go with Perth 1-10. Brisbane Bullets on the road to Melbourne United. United. And you know what? I called Melbourne United the best team in the competition to start the season. And them and the Sydney Kings, I think that's number 1, number 2.
I'm just writing that down. Ding, 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 ding. 11 plus. Because if they can get a few guys, they get the big fella on track. Because he was all over the place last week, let's face it. He was all over the place. But they got so much talent, they're going to be able to get it done. Casey Prather back for that one. And the Brisbane Bullets could get beaten by 20.
All right. 11 plus. Casey Prather, you can wear your sunglasses.
You can wear whatever
on the bench when you decide to take a break. I don't care because the boy can ball, can seriously ball. New Zealand on the road to the Adelaide 36ers. And that's Sunday, 5 p.m. Don't miss that one at tip-off.
Well, I'm going to go for the Adelaide 36ers. Glen Rice Jr. That wasn't very long lasting, was it, as the best player to ever play in our league?
Ever. Oh, man.
Short stint, that one. But Adelaide, 1-10, I reckon. Get it done. High scoring game, that one.
Yeah, I'm not going to pick New Zealand until they show me something.
You had them in the top 3, though.
Yeah.
At the start of the season.
Boy, you're a spiteful thing today.
You poked the bear, mate. You poked the bear early, and then away we go.
Okay.
All right, what do we got?
Don't be late, kids, ever around Shane Hill.
Cairns on the road to the Illawarra Hawks, and this is a good battle right here. The Hawks are playing for their coach at the moment. I like the way they're playing, but I think they're just going to go down. I think Cairns 1-10, just got a little bit more talent. Asterisk, in case they get an import during the week, though. If they get a superstar import, the Illawarra Hawks, finally, then they could probably win.
All right. You're just going to hold them to that. I'm going to go with Illawarra. They showed me something against the Kings.
How long do you need?
They're playing for their coach. They're playing with emotion. They're playing together. I love that. Illawarra Hawks. Yeah, that's that. That's it for our preview, but we'll be back with Jumpin' Joe Healy. What? Oh, okay. I was anxious to get Joe on.
Phoenix at Sacramento.
Trying to get some help. You're mean today. I'm trying to get some help.
Baines. That's what happens when you turn up late. Aaron Baines at Phoenix has been sensational. I love the way they play, but I'm just going to go for the Kings 1-10, who have been pretty competitive as well. I don't mind them.
I'm going to go with Phoenix. I don't even know who Sacramento have. They got Fox. That's right?
Yep.
They got Fox.
Buddy Hield.
Quick brother. Yeah. All right. And then game 2, Boston are visiting the LA Clippers, the other team in LA.
Paul George.
He's back.
He has come back hard at the moment. They're tag teaming with Kawhi Leonard, not playing all the games, but they only need one or the other. I think they'll be too strong for Boston, who are playing some pretty good basketball as well. But the Clippers, too strong. Let's go, if they both play, let's go 11 plus.
11 plus. I agree. And we'll be back with Joe Healy right after the break. Joining us in the studio is Joe Healy from Fox Sports News. Joe, thank God you've come on the set right now because Shane is trying to kill me. My
you
goodness.
mean thank goodness I wasn't late today?
She's never late, mate. She's first here. And she bought an apple. For the producer, Director Dave.
No.
Isn't it?
All right, quit sucking up. Go ahead. What have you got for us?
Plenty to get through. So the New Zealand Breakers have officially suspended Glen Rice Jr. indefinitely. We know that he was stood down for their game against the Wildcats. It is my understanding that the NBL weren't actually notified of this incident, which happened in the early hours of Thursday morning, so Wednesday night. The NBL weren't notified until Saturday, though. So the reason that they had to act to stand him down from that game is the fact that the Breakers actually wanted him to play. So that I found quite interesting. But a press release has come through from Matt Walsh. He says, new information has now come to light, and regardless of the outcome of Wednesday's court appearance, there's no denying that he's let the club, our fans, and New Zealand public down when we gave him this lifeline. He says, I put a structure in place which I thought would prevent any problems, but I was wrong. And that is essentially saying that Glen Rice Jr. has history. He's been in trouble before, but the Breakers knew what they were getting into.
I think we have to know the facts before we can sort of comment on what happened at the bar. But the big thing for me is about the culture of New Zealand and the fact that he's going out at bars early morning in fights in that situation a few days before a game. I mean, the whole thing just isn't good.
Yeah, I mean, it's the professionalism you got to show when you go into another culture as well. You got to really toe the line, and you got to be professional. You got to do it for not just yourself, but for your teammates. So that is disappointing.
I guess the positive out of it is that now that they've made this decision, they can go about rectifying it, bringing somebody else in, and hopefully just start to build on this culture that you get the feeling is on the decline a little bit.
Yeah.
Will he be the best player?
Yeah. Oh, man, you're stealing all the good lines. You're so greedy today.
Sorry, my
yeah.
bad.
It's all right.
All right, what else we got?
I spoke to a couple of the guys up in Cairns after that massive win over the Breakers. The Sunshine Stoush, that's the first and last time I'll say that because that's a tongue twister as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, that's going to catch.
But how good were Cairns? And, you know, some of the likes of Quatnoy getting a double-double and things like that. So I thought that was really good. I spoke to DJ Newball. He said that he's really impressed with their team at the moment. He said that they're unique and that they're really talented. They believe they can make the finals, which is...
What's open, isn't it, that fourth spot?
Yeah.
But what they're going to have to do is play with that sort of mindset that they play with against Brisbane every week. They let themselves down the week before. They came out as favourites, thought they were going to beat the Illawarra Hawks, and they just didn't play with that sort of intent.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a team like that, you have to know who you are. You know, this is a team that has historically played well at home and played horrible on the road. So you got to go out there and just bring it every single game. Know your identity and play to it.
Well, they've got the Wildcats at home this week, so fingers crossed. I also asked DJ about that poster dunk on Nathan Sobey, which happened to be on the same day that, did you see LeBron's dunk against the Kings the other day? Oh my goodness. DJ said that his was better.
Really?
I love that.
Really?
Yeah, he laughed. He was tongue in cheek. But it was good to chat with him anyway. And the other thing I wanted to talk about was the attendance record. Not just for the Kings, but I mean with the Breakers and Wildcats game included, they top 50,000.
Again.
30,000, sorry, for that day, and they're 50,000 on the round with still one game to play. So that's super impressive. There's been a little bit of back and forth between the NBL and the A-League in that, you know, they're comparing each other, people saying that the A-League's on the decline, the NBL's on the up.
That's true though, right?
It is. If you're looking at it from a... it's all relative.
Yeah.
So the A-League average attendance is higher than the NBL, but that is because their stadiums are bigger, their grounds are bigger. The NBL, I think, is getting about 80% attendance records, or rate, sorry, and the A-League is nowhere near that. So
And growing.
And growing,
Year
yes.
after year, like the last 3 or 4 years, it's just complete growth.
No,
it's unbelievable.
It's tremendous. And having been at that game between the Kings and the Hawks, the atmosphere was next level. It was great.
Oh, man. And the basketball's great. It's as simple as that. The games are great. The talent's great. And it's just dunks and alley-oops and execution and great defense. And you just can't go past the fact that it's a great spectacle to watch.
And just on that Kings game as well, an update. They have raised about $21,000 for the Salvos and actually going to keep that donation open until their next home game against United. So that's just another real positive and, great work by the Kings.
All right. Well, now let's go courtside not courtside countdown. It's courtside all around the country with our correspondents. Keep it down. With our correspondents all around the country. First, from Perth, it's Nick Lakovich. What's happening with Adelaide's defense, big fella?
Well, one thing that we know about this league is the numbers tell an intriguing story. And for the 36ers, they lead the league in points against at 99 points per game. It tells the rest of the league that defense hasn't been a priority. It only gets worse. Over their last 4 consecutive losses, they're effectively giving up 102 points per game. And in 3 of those 4 losses prior to the Wildcats' loss against the Phoenix Kings and United, they had double-digit leads at some stage during the game and led at quarter time in all of those games. What does that tell us? A fade out in the second half. For 3 quarters, they haven't been able to outscore their opponents. And worse, they can't defend down the stretch. The Wildcats game, they showed they made some critical errors, an unsportsmanlike foul at Griffin at a critical time, and Joey Wright publicly came out in his media press conference and challenged Griffin to rebound better and play smarter down the stretch. This is a critical time for the 36ers in this game against the Phoenix. We know both teams can score the ball. It's going to be which team shows up and prioritises defence. For the 36ers, a critical moment in where they stand in the season.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Nick Lakovich right there. I got a chance to speak to Jerome Randall earlier in the week, and he was saying it's a crucial time for them, and he sees himself as a leader to try and get them to bounce back if they're going to have a shot at the playoffs.
Well, interesting that Joey Wright said he built this team on being able to be better at defence this year, and it certainly hasn't translated. But let's get to Derek Rucker. He's talking about the Bullets, and they continue to ignore their import problems.
Shane and Steve, we've all been in that situation where we know that the imports aren't quite up to scratch that have been our teammates. And right now, I believe that's what's happening with the Brisbane Bullets. Thus, the malaise you see. They went up to Cairns for the Sunshine Stoush and were never in that game. They made a run late, but that was only because Cairns, for some reason, decided to slow the tempo and they let the Bullets back into the game. The time is now. The Bullets have to change one of those import spots and either get a point guard that's going to run the show and help them regain lost possessions, or go for that athletic four-man. Singler and Braun, unfortunately, I'm sure they're nice guys. This isn't a good fit for them. One of those guys got to go this week. I know it's hard to get two people in at once, but something has to change if the Bullets clearly want to get into that top four. They owe it to the Brisbane public, who have had high expectations for this team this season. Let's see what happens. See you guys next week.
Well, couldn't agree more with Derek Rucker, but they're not making any changes. Andre is stubborn, and he has been year after year about making changes. Those guys aren't good. And he keeps talking about intent. In every interview Andre Lamanis does, he talks about intent, and their intent lacks.
So do question marks start coming up about Andre Lamanis and his ability to lead this side? I mean, is he going to be in trouble at any time soon, or is he in place? He's no problem.
Well, he just signed a brand new 3-year contract after having 3 years with the Bullets, and they finally made the playoffs. This was the year they were going to go forward. They're not even close to going forward. They can't make the playoffs.
I don't know if contracts mean anything these days anyway, but he does have a reputation to keep up if he's taking the Boomers to Tokyo next year. Let's go to Paolo Kennedy, though. Both Melbourne sides are killing it at the moment. What's the driving force behind that?
Yeah, the two Melbourne teams going pretty well. I want to talk about their coaches this week, because I think, well, a lot of people think about the X's and O's of coaching. There's so much more to it than that, and I think that can be really showed by what the two Melbourne teams are doing. Southeast Melbourne, they're role players. They just know their job so well. Dane Pineau's the obvious one. He doesn't do anything special, but he's incredibly effective. And we saw Keith Benson come in on Saturday against Melbourne and, again, didn't do anything spectacular, but was incredibly effective. Early in the third quarter, Ben Madgen struggling a little bit. In comes Gibson and Adnam. They up the defence and they turn the game. It's role players knowing their roles and doing their job. If you look to Melbourne, well, Dean Vickerman, when he was at New Zealand, he led the individual improvement side of their organisation, and that helped them become a powerhouse. You look at Mello Trimble, the way he's improving his defence, but look at Shea Ely on Saturday. He struggled with his three-point shot historically. He's had a bad start to the season from outside, but you can tell he's been working so hard on it to give himself the confidence to come out and knock down 4 triples and be the game winner against the Phoenix.
Yeah, well, defence wins games, doesn't it, boys? And what a throwdown 3 that was.
How good.
Yeah, can't beat any of that. Nothing like the sound of that. Well, that's all the time we have, and I hope you have enjoyed the show. Remember, we are on Apple Podcasts, and you can search for the show, The Basketball Show, 7 o'clock on Facebook at the Telesport. That's Joe Healy. That's Shane Heel. I'm Steve Carfino. We're The Basketball Show. We'll see you next time.
This is a co-production by News Corp Australia and Closer Sport.